guys, it's Justine Vallender
and Annette Baratovich from Centurion Real Estate. We're here today to conduct a cleaning video on preparing your property for a property condition report.
I meet with landlords all the time and we talk about the importance of a property condition report and the importance of handing over the property to a standard in which we can document it and ensuring that it comes back to us. Here at Centurion, we like to do things a little bit different, and we actually do a video walkthrough as part of our property condition reports. What we find is that before we carry out this report, I'll organize a cleaning quote, but we do have some landlords that like to obviously undertake the cleaning themselves. And so we thought we'd make this video on just some top tips that we find sometimes can get missed, and also for tenants when you're vacating the property. So watch this video and hopefully it will just help getting into those tricky cleaning spots that sometimes get missed.
So some of the main things that are missed when owners are coming in to clean their property or when tenants are vacating are windows or glass doors with the frame, the tracks, window tracks and door tracks, and also blinds, especially if it's during the winter and the blinds are up all the time, the collection of dust, and it's not until summer when we're actually dropping our blinds that we actually notice it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with vacuuming the tracks, cleaning and vacuuming the tracks. Some of the tools that I tend to use are like a tint brush or a toothbrush, and this will loosen up all the dirt in the tracks, and then you can vacuum it. So what we do is we can use, you can see in those corners how it's bringing out all the dirt. Sometimes if you need something a little bit smaller, these tint brushes are really great. And by loosening it all up, it makes it so much easier just to vacuum out. So now that we've vacuumed the tracks, you can actually see they're still not clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just use spray and wipe in the tracks. Just let that sit for a little while to soften it up, and then we're just going to clean it. So with some of these scuff marks that you get from your shoes, you can actually use something like gumption, and you can see that I've done a section through here and that with the scuff marks prior. And the same with your tracks. You can get a toothbrush about that size with just a rag, so that way it just picks up any of the dirt, and you can see there's one that's been done. That one's been done, but this one hasn't. So you can see the difference once you've actually cleaned it. After you vacuumed, it makes a big difference.
So Annette, can you just explain to the landlords in terms of when you carry out a property condition report, how would you class the tracks in terms of when they're just hoovered but not scrubbed versus hoovered and scrubbed?
So when they're just hoovered, you still have dirt in there. So it's actually classed as not clean. So what you need to do is you need to hoover your tracks, and then you need to clean them to be classed as cleaned. If you don't do that, it'll be classed as not clean. For doing the glass, you don't need to use the detergent as such because it actually does leave residue and smear marks. So I tend to use like a 3M cloth, and they have little boggles on them. And what it does, it gets off any dirt, the fly debris that you get from the insects, and you're just basically washing it down with water and vinegar and just giving it a good rub, so you're getting off all the bits that are stuck on there. Then we use our squeegee. So this is our end product. Both sides need to be cleaned when you do the windows, and when you've got fly screens, you need to remove those fly screens unless they are a fixed security screen. So by using your squeegee, a cloth, clean cloth, water, vinegar, you'll have no smear marks. So with the blinds, depending on the fabric, you have to be careful of what you use. This is more like a plastic, so it's not going to leave any water stains. If it's a material, it will leave water stains, so you need to be careful of what you're actually using. Especially with some of the Holland blinds where they've got cardboard inside the fabric, they will end up becoming like paper mache if you were to wet them. So what we're going to do with this one, because it's just a plastic spray, we're just going to put some spray and white along there, just holding the edge up. Just using a damp, clean cloth. Now you might have to do this a couple of times because you can see all that dirt is coming off. It's going off onto the blind. So we're going to have to clean the blind as well. And don't forget, there are two sides, both sides need to be clean. If it's something that you don't want to do yourself, there are people like Amazing Clean, and they are very good at what they do, and they're very reasonable in price as well. They also fix blinds that are broken. Wash that out. So this is our end result. After using gumption on stainless steel, we had a build up of calcium because there's a dish rack that's left here to do the dishes, and the water just sits there, so we end up with a calcium build up. Now we've removed that, and it pretty much, if you do it once or twice a week, it just keeps those water marks away. So we're going to use the same product, the gumption, inside the melamine shelf. So when people vacate and they take all their cleaning products out of the shelves, it leaves little ring marks. And the same with the edges of the cupboards. So if you want to have a look at this, where we've got the ring marks. So just normal wiping over doesn't always get that off. So we've just got one little scratch mark here. Unfortunately, the scratch mark's not going to come off, but it pretty much gets it off straight away. Same with the edges of your cupboards. So what we'll do is we'll do half to show you the difference. So you've got your dirt, and then this is all clean here. Another problem that we come across is calcium on the shower tiles and the shower screen. And this is a white calcium that actually clings to the glass, and it doesn't matter how much scrubbing and bleach you use on there, you won't get it off. A really good product is CLR. You can buy this from Coles or Woolworths, and all you do is you get a sponge, you actually wipe it over, let it sit for a couple of minutes. If it's really heavy and built up, you might have to do a couple of applications. And then to pretty much just wipe it off and rinse it off with water, and just use your squeegee, and then that's all done. Just make sure that when you are using this that you do ventilate your bathroom, because it is a little bit breathtaking. Another one is toilet seats. So when people clean their toilet, they tend to wipe over their toilet. The same with the seating, and then again underneath through here. But what happens is that we get a lot of urine trapped underneath, and a lot of people don't realise that underneath we have these wing nuts. So all you do is you undo these wing nuts, take the whole seat off, put some bleach over it while you're in the trough, and it gives you the opportunity to then have the bare china bowl that you can actually wipe and clean it yourself. And while you're there, another area that's commonly missed is through here. A lot of people don't wipe around their toilet bowl, so you can see we can actually put our name in there, and also all this dust. So again, all wet and told areas, it's probably easier to use a sponge to be able to wash your floors rather than using a mop. If your grout starts to get a little bit discoloured, things like sugar soap are really good. You just get a soft brush and just sort of rub it into the grout, and that'll take off all this discoloration and bring your tile grout back up to being clean.
Hi guys, so I really hope you enjoyed watching this video with top tips of cleaning. Look, we always send you a cleaning checklist as well, and if you're never sure, always give us a call, especially Annette. She's absolutely incredible with her cleaning products and things like that. So Annette, do you want to just let everyone know, why do we find this so important, and why is it an important aspect of renting out your property?
Well, the reason why is because when I go in to conduct the property condition report, and then when the tenant leaves, there are often disputes about what is clean and what isn't clean, and basically it's black and white, yes or no. So if an owner feels that their property was clean prior to the tenant moving in, and then at the end I've got on there that it's not, I then have to try and be the mediator to try and have both sides agree. So if it doesn't come to an agreement, then we have to go in front of a magistrate. When a magistrate looks at the property condition report and he sees on there, with photos to back up, that it is not clean, then it's pretty much black and white. So that's why we can't stipulate enough that clean has to be clean. It can't be tracks are vacuumed and they're not clean, because it's not actually classed as clean. So by doing this, we're trying to help the owners prepare their property to be clean, and that way when they get the property back, it'll come back clean. If it doesn't, then it's taken out of the tenant's bond and we send cleaners in, so they do get their property back the same way.
Brilliant, guys. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're looking obviously for an experienced property management team in High Wycombe, we would love to help as well. Have a great day.
Bye.